Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third lecture from the camp. It would be about typical calculation mistake. I want to present you Grandmaster Artur Yusupov, who is a very famous coach and wrote one of the best books ever written. I think so. And he was also a former number 3 in the world. I hope that his lecture will be very interesting for you, and you will learn a lot of things. And yeah, enjoy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I want just to use the opportunity and to tell you that in 1 week, in Saturday 14th, I will be holding a big workshop on Zoom on a training side for training commission of FIDE, and you can find the description on the homepage of FIDE Training Commission. There is the theme will be calculations, so we adjusted the same theme what we are doing today. I hope it will be.
Just to add that probably tomorrow in the Q&A session, we will also provide a link to everyone who wants to participate.
That is great. Yeah,
it would be a great opportunity.
Today my theme is how to avoid mistakes in calculations, and before I start, I want to tell you this funny story what happened to me. Last time I took the same theme many years ago. Yeah, I had some seminar in Germany, and I was invited to visit a town, I think Alzoy, whatever it was, and to have this lecture on the theme how to avoid the mistakes. And the day started extremely badly. I was on my way to the seminar, but I was stopped by police because of some small violation of the rules in my own city. So that was the start, and then it already in the city where I should have my theme. Yeah, wanted to explain how to avoid mistake. I was involved also in a car accident. So the theme brings difficult karma. So please be careful. And so far I am at home, so I hope nothing will happen to us and to everybody. So let me start with some examples of games of very strong players, and you will see how difficult and how challenging is actually to try to avoid mistakes, because I will be showing you many mistakes also from my own games. So let me start screen sharing, and we can communicate also. It would be very nice if you write your suggestions in chat when I will put a question, then I can have some feedback. So let me start. I want to show you the beginning of the game between Vincent Keimer and Nicholas Huschenbett. The first player was junior at this moment, but Nicholas was already Grandmaster, was very strong player. And we will see what will happen in the game. I was coaching Vincent Keimer at this moment, and Alvor, we were preparing this line, but still Nicholas tricked us with some move order what we did not consider. So, and here he made the novelty, bishop h5, which already shows the level of his preparation, obviously done also with computer. After some thought, Vincent decided to clarify the position in the center. So obviously he was not able to spot the idea of black. Maybe you can do it better. In fact, something happened here because after a long thought, Huissenbert also missed actually the idea of the move bishop h5, which supported me in my thoughts that he just prepared the variation with computer, but not all details could he understand. The details of the move bishop h5, actually the idea behind the move bishop h5 is very fine. And both players were just missing the idea. Happens, of course, all the time that players are missing something, but very important to be extremely cautious at the beginning. If you missed, there is some ideas coming. Still bishop g6. Of course, compensation, but probably not enough compensation after this. But you are close to the right idea, so keep working on it. Bishop f3 is not that dangerous and could be done also by black earlier. Thank you for participating very actively. I think what happened here that oh, that's great. Already we have an excellent solution. I see the high level of the participation. Yes. Nevertheless, it is interesting here to see that Grandmaster he was not able to find out the solution over the board, without assistance of his computer. He was here blank. In fact, the idea is not so obvious at all. It requires maybe some fantasy, but it is much easier to find it out if we first of all just concentrate on active possibilities. And for us it is easy because we know that we have a solution here. Huissenbert have no idea, but he already can strike. He just played bishop a5. What generally is important is always to consider the active possibilities, and in chat we have already this suggestion. Take on c3 first, and only then to play bishop g6. That makes a lot of sense, and basically white has only one move, which need to be considered. So the variation goes in a forced way. That actually could be a hint for a player to keep working on this variation, because everything is absolutely forced after bishop takes c3. And then, of course, if it tactically good, and I had already a great answer, if it tactically good, then we may find this idea. Knight takes c4, knight takes c4, queen h4. We see the level of today's group. Yes, it's nice to discover such an idea. I think it is a rather rare idea because it connects also the pin of pawn on f2, where it cannot protect the knight, can't protect the knight, and g4 obviously is also not going to work. So black would win the pawn. Actually, he would hit on e4 in the next move. Okay, it's not maybe not already a decisive advantage because white has two bishops and has drawing chances, but obviously a great start in a game for black. So we see a very interesting case. In fact, later this game probably showed also that Niklas is not an ideal form at the beginning of the tournament. Later he played several good games and I think fully recovered, but on the round 4 he was not in a great shape, and maybe I show you two moments from the same game to also to stress diagnosis. Yeah? And the next critical moment was on the move 40. Somehow Vincent won the pawn, but it is, of course, should be a draw. Yeah? In the end game, rook and 3 pawns against rook and 2 pawns should be an easy draw. Vincent played here g3. I think what happens very, very often, yeah, and especially in such a situation like close to the control time trouble, that we don't even think about the different options. Probably Nicholas just wanted to make some move here to reach time control, and he was not attentive to possibilities. But maybe we can do a better job together. Yeah, if you write down in chat, what do you see here for black? Dear friends, if possible, use the chat and not question and answers, because then I can only see one thing. I don't check the questions and answers. Yes, I have very good suggestions. Yes, if you just look at the position, sometimes it is just if we search something, we will already maybe be able to find. So many mistakes even done by strong players, just because of ignorance to other possibilities. And here Nicholas just played king g8 and reached time control, thinking, okay, very good, yeah. But in fact, it was a good opportunity to finish the game, basically, by attacking the second, by attacking the weak pawn. Yes. It's not a difficult thing would be to find, but maybe some time pressure and some nervousness in this moment was leading to the fact that Nicholas missed this opportunity. I just give you one sample line to show that it is easy draw. If now king f5. I agree with comments that it always looks easy when you know the solution. And here black actually already reached the drawing fortress if he just stays on the 8th rank. Yeah, and white can even pick up 2 pawns, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we already in drawing position. Some other line, if white tries to pick f pawn, then of course rook is coming back to defense. Could be done something like this. For example, king g6, rook a6. Anyway, the draw would be a kind of easy. Black played king g8, which allowed Vincent to play this position, to try to do something. And the key moment came a little bit later in this situation. It looks like a draw, but actually, after the next move, rook f8, black should be careful, because white perhaps demonstrated an idea. Yeah? Maybe we can see what white wanted to play. What white wants to play. Just, if you just write to me, what is the threat? Thank you very much. Yes, the threat is basically to play f4. And we will see that, because for strange reasons, Hushenbet is not defending against it. He just, maybe he was sure that it is draw, but I think he just missed the first move. Yeah, he just missed the threat. That the threat is actually f4, king g6, and now rook b8. Threatening rook b6, and in this moment, yeah, we have a better move. I agree with you. We will come to this. Yeah. In this moment, Hushendet realized his mistake. He put the rook on a1, but too late. Yeah, you should have this position, and in this position already play rook h1 check. Yeah, that could be achieved on the first move if he would simply put the rook on b1. On the second row, rook is not doing anything, but rook b1 would be enough to defend, to prevent the move king h4. This is a key move, and it happened in the game after rook a2, check, rook b8, rook a1, too late, check. And now, if king goes to a5, then rook h6 is winning. Now king h4 wins and ding, or if king g7, king h4. That's what white wanted to achieve, and this is a losing situation for black. He can't defend the pawn with rook a5 because probably rook e6 and rook e5 is coming. So he gave check, but that's also not good enough. White king is very far, and he also is ready simply to play rook b7, f5. So, for example, if rook b1, white can play rook b3 first, attacking also the pawn. Rook h3 wouldn't be really better. h4 was played in the game. Yes. Rook h3 is not really better because here and in any moments if h4 we have check, and otherwise white will play f5 and increase his advantage by pushing f pawn, and black cannot do much here in this position. It's actually a simple win. I also won the game against Fabian Dötling with the same idea. So black played h4, but it was not working already. Might have definitely many ways to convert his advantage. King e6. Okay, that was one of the winning possibilities, which now it is very clear that white is winning. So let us move to the next game. It happened in a tournament where I was playing for veterans, and my opponent was Magnus Carlsen. At this moment, still a young player, but already of very formidable strength. Magnus Carlsen, yes, this Magnus. Yeah. Actually, I knew that the position should be okay for me, for white. But in this moment, I took time, but unfortunately, the game shows why old people should probably think twice before they enter the competitions against promising future champions. Yeah? So here I missed an optimal continuation, and it also happened to lose initiative in this moment. But the last move of Magnus Carlsen was knight d7 to f8, and that was a move which put me slightly in a panic, because knight is coming to g6. At the same time, black is threatening to take on f3 and take on d4. And I decided, after a long thought, I decided to try to play safe and to try to force a draw from this position, but also miscalculated terribly. Let us forget about trying to make a draw, as I did. Okay, I just mentioned what I played. I took, and I played then bishop e4, hoping to use these weaknesses for perpetual, which is not going to work. I will show it a little bit later. But that was clearly not a good way for me to take on f6. It was not good enough. Let's see. What do you think? What is the most natural move to you? Very good, very good. Thank you very much. And already people are hitting rook a d1, and definitely I also saw the move. Yeah, so it's not a move what you would miss as a candidate move, bringing the last piece in the game, defending actually against bishop f3. Just a small line could be useful actually. Yeah? If rook takes d4, we need to take on f6. But if rook f4, yeah, we have queen g3. That's a nice line to see before we play rook a d1. I was not worried about this line, but I simply missed the move after knight g6. I thought that black would play knight g6, and I would have the same problems with my center as before. Here, in my calculations, I missed the candidate move. This actually brings us to very interesting observation that the most mistakes are happening because one of the players, he misses the candidate possibilities. But on the first moves, yeah, usually we are missing things already on the first moves. It's probably much less harm if we will miss some fineness, yeah, on move 10 of the variation. But usually the big damage is coming on the move 1. Yes, I missed here this great move, knight e5. That actually would mean advantage for white, not even equal position. Yeah? Just let me show you one or two variations to support this. Yeah? White have, for example, move f3. Here, black is losing material here. And if rook takes d4, the main idea, which I missed just candidate move, is just to take on g6 and to take on f7 with winning position. If I would spot the move knight e5, I would definitely go for rook a d1 and would play this variation. You can also say that here there was probably some psychological weakness demonstrated by white player, yeah, by me, in such a situation. White to play for a draw, all of a sudden everything is good, have active position, so look for justification of keeping playing. Rook a d1 should be more it should be more clear that this is a way to continue. And to try to play for a draw was not great. You are right. Alekhine would never play for a draw here. Shame on me. Yes, I felt absolutely the same way as you said here. Yes. Actually, I admire the way of Alekhine. Nevertheless, we will see also by previous mistake that white was not in a good shape, and white player was missing candidate moves. It's very interesting that it continues in this game. Yeah? It continues like white missing the continuations. Already bishop e4 was not a good move, but it is connected with my idea. I thought I can attack and that black doesn't have a choice but to agree to perpetual. In fact, here it already dawned on me that why should black agree to perpetual? I saw the knight g6 and that h4 is not dangerous, but it was already a little bit too late. So my calculations on a little bit longer line were also very bad, missing some things here. Interesting that what would you play here actually if you just have to do it quickly? Queen d5, very natural move. Thank you very much. And that move was played by future world champion Magnus Carlsen, but in fact it's not an accurate move. It was better to keep this square for the knight. Yeah? Later in analysis, I saw this move, and the idea also if rook c7, we can defend with rook d7. Queen a4, very fine move. If queen h4, we can play knight d5. That was a way to advantage for black, but again, maybe Magnus was not also on his 100%, yeah, not concentrated. Or maybe I puzzled him with my pawn sacrifice, so he gave me a little bit of chances. Queen h4 now, and now, okay, you can defend it with knight g8, but this move slightly unnatural. Black wants to do it correctly, yeah, with queen e5 and then with idea knight d5. Actually, here I continued to miss the opportunities of my opponent. I played here rook c7. I thought this is a way. Yeah, I did not thought about anything else. Thank you, Emil. Yeah, thank you what you're mentioning different possibilities. Much later, I discovered the possibility knight e5, which could probably hold this position together. Yeah? The active defending was, or active play was already important. Yeah? Black can't take, and that's important, yeah? Because then rook takes, and white is simply winning here. So black has to defend the pawn on f7 somehow, and we may play maybe rook e3, keeping a lot of chances. Yeah? Position remains very complicated after h6, but of course that was the way to play. I played rook c7. My explanation is that I actually missed the move rook g8, which immediately came. And next, is it hard to adapt after making a misjudgment? Somehow I was not able in this game. I was trying to fight, but I was not able in this game to avoid to making the same mistakes. Yeah, the same mistake was that I was missing the candidate moves. Sometimes it is just a matter of form, yeah, that we can see better things, but also to be able to concentrate on the right moment. So, for example, here I had a better option. I must say I haven't seen knight e5 idea at all. Yeah. Here it is too late because we have something like this. Yeah. Already, if knight d2, black can play rook g4, overtaking initiative. So I came to the move knight h2, just to protect also the square g4 and to keep fighting. But we can see how ugly, yeah, it's an ugly move, in fact, yeah, knight h2. The Grandmaster should be able to see an alternative, yeah. Queen e4, yeah, queen e4 is an alternative. Somehow I was not good in the game. Knight h2. knight d5. Little bit difficult moment because computer actually suggests a different move here. It looked like black worked so hard to put the knight on d5, but here he should avoid it and to play first rook d2 e8, and if rook a7, the idea is to play rook g5. We see also Magnus also a little bit guilty as well in missing promising possibilities. I think here I made a big mistake too, but the right move was more difficult to see. Yeah, the good concept would be to play f3 and to bring the knight on g4 to create some counterplay. But it is more difficult stuff actually. It requires a lot of analysis. I don't want to waste our time. I just want to show you the next problem. I played g3, b5. It looks already very bad, yeah, because the pawn is running on the queen side. My counterplay on the king side seems to be stopped. At least here I found the good idea. Yeah. Once in a while, yeah, I found that I have to play queen e4. Queen h5 was played. And of course here I thought, okay, my idea was actually to take on e6, and that's what I did. Yeah, exchange the pawn e6 against pawn h5 and to have the position like this. And only after the answer of my opponent, I realized that I'm almost in a lost position here, or in a very difficult position. Played before. Yes, because queen f6. Yeah, so we have to see. But the problem is that I can't move my rook away. Yeah, because of rook e8, and I can't move my queen. Yeah, what can I play actually? So this is extremely ugly situation, at least for practical purposes. Computer, he may be able to defend any position, but here I was not able to defend, yeah, because yeah, what can I do? Yeah, this I was not able to defend normally. So only much later, I think, analyzing it already also with engine, the engine suggested to move rook a7, so not to take on e6. But this type of variation, this is not human play. Yeah, and so I cannot blame myself but not spotting this opportunity. I will show you the results of the analysis. I did not go so far at all. Yeah, I just took on e6 as a matter of fact. It's computer who says that it was possible to play a different move. It didn't came to my mind. Yeah. The solution what engine is giving here, again, it would be above my level. Yeah. So let me just show you what is going on. Yeah, if rook b2, then black can play knight f4, and it looks like a finished. Game is finished. But white has here a fantastic idea. White could take on b3, rook takes b3, and to play knight f1. I haven't seen something like this very often, I must admit. Yeah. because white is rook down and plays the move like knight f1. It is necessary because rook d5 was losing, but not a human way to play. No, I wouldn't have a chance to find it in the game at all. But here, what happened after my move, queen e6, so basically I lost the game a little bit early, I must say, because to find defenses here was above my possibility. Queen e6, and here I was like so tight, I cannot find the way how to defend. Computer suggests something like knight f1 as a best move, but that was too difficult to me. Yeah. So again, what was suggested by computer here to play rook e3, very tough stuff, and if b2 to play rook b7. You don't play rook e3 if pawn can run. Yeah, so it's not again not a human variation, obviously. I played here rook e7 and. Very nice move of Magnus. He's not taken because he sees very well that actually I am pinned. Yeah? Plays queen g6. It was possible to take, but why to bother with it? Yeah? So now Magnus is at his best and not giving me any chance. It's not only a problem of black is attacking him, my king is weak, also b pawn is too strong, and actually it's almost agony. I'm trying not to lose immediately, but of course Magnus finds the way how to crack my position. h6 was very fine move, actually. Yeah, to open some squares for the king and not to be bothered about some perpetual with queen takes f6 check, whatever. Yeah, so that was a good play. I can't do much here. I just want to show you the game till the end because we already were here, and also to show you funny situation here. In fact, Magnus did not thought long here, and he played queen b7, and this is a very good winning move, and I resigned, of course, because black keeps the material advantage, which is enough to clearly win the game. At the same time, black could deliver here a checkmate in 3 moves. Yeah, in 2 ways, yeah, and both were missed by Magnus for some reasons. Yeah? Because he saw already a winning line. Yeah? It's actually interesting. Queen h3 checkmate in 3 moves. Yeah? Or rook g3, what you also mentioned, checkmate in 3 moves. It's a little bit funny that also my no need to be clever. That's true. Yeah, if you see the simple win, that's enough. It actually shows the practical approach. Sometimes we are overdoing with clever play by searching for the best solution. Sometimes it's enough to see winning line. That's it. Yeah, clearly winning line. So I don't know. If you enjoyed the game, I didn't. Yeah, but there was, of course, so many things, and what was also surprising for me that so many chances still to hold this position after my mistake in the middle game. Yeah, but the task, of course, became very difficult at the end of the game. Let me I think I was better at the beginning, and in some cases I could get clear advantage. Yeah? So black, after rook d1, black has to be very careful, yeah, how to defend it. It was advantage for white, yeah? But not winning, not whatever. Yeah? It would be overdoing to say that white is a winning position. Better position, but let me move to the next example. And then one is an example in the game of Magnus, white to play. It's one of my favorite positions also, as well as favorite position of Mark Dvoretsky. So white to play, what do you see here? Yes, as already mentioned, we see a lot of strong players, and obviously strong players, they see tactical variation knight g6. And not a surprise that also Grandmaster Magnus was actually an excellent player. He also saw the move knight g6. Probably I have to formulate my question differently. Yeah? What did Magnus miss? We still need to, yes, we need to calculate it. It goes very good, very good. Yes, we have it. Very good. That's what Magnus missed. Yeah? So let us concentrate on the mistake. Knight g6 is so tempting that it starts some concrete play. And white saw the move knight takes b7. Only seeing probably that black is losing material, yeah, after queen b7. White has some discovered check, rook takes f6. What he missed the move knight d5. Yes. So how to avoid such a mistakes? If you have such a promising position and very tempting, but at some moment at least you have to be sure that you are stopping the situation in the right moment. Yeah, that means that you cannot stop the calculations too early. You have to continue as long as opponent would have an active possibilities. Black was national master Bailin, actually a good player. So it was a serious opposition. I'm not sure if Magnus was grandmaster already in this moment. So they have two reasonable players, and at this moment, at least on the master level. But white was careless. White was careless, or he stopped calculations too early. Yeah, because here black has a tactical blow threatening checkmate. The move like knight d5 has actually a huge priority. Yeah? So if Magnus would put this question in this moment, let's say what black can do, yeah, he would definitely will find knight d5. Yeah? If he would stop and concentrate on black's possibilities, he had the better chances. Yeah? I think he was maybe too excited to see the idea knight g6. It looks pretty, yeah? But not every pretty idea is working. That would be very clever. Yeah? If black was tempting white to play knight g6, that would be very clever. I think it was more accidentally, but otherwise it would be, of course, very, very deep trap, yeah, from black side. Because this is possible to oversee, yeah? And after few moves, the game was over now. It was trying to play for the pin, yeah, but actually a very nice move. Not the only one, but it repeated the idea. Queen came back and against threatening queen f2, and black is unpinning the knight. So very useful stuff. We touched here a couple of important things. We touched a couple of important things in these first examples. First of all, it is very important to be very attentive at the first moves of the variations. That's very important. Secondly, we have to look for candidate possibilities, not only for ourselves, but also for the opponent. Very important to be on equal terms with our opponent. Yeah? And third, that we can only stop the calculations at the moment where there are no active possibilities more for us or for opponent. Then we can stop and we can assess the position. If you do it too early, we may miss some important answer and we can come to the wrong judgment. Let me show you another maybe interesting example from my game. It was, I will put it from black perspective. I will flip the board. It was French defense. Little bit compromised the pawn structure on the king side. I think I have an interesting solution, even if computer is not really supporting me. It was a practically a huge success in the game, and I think the idea was not bad at all. I was looking at the position and tried to optimize position of my pieces, and then I came to candidate move. Normal move is probably g5 in this position, but actually I did not like this situation. If I place h3, okay, something like this can happen, yeah? Or white can start with knight e3. I did not like the position at all. Yeah? So I came with different idea. I played bishop e7. Sorry about this lot of disturbing signs, what I put here, because I was explaining this position for less strong group. Black is moving his bishop to d6 and queen to f6, and also opening f line for the rook to work. The idea is known in the French defense, but also in some other openings. Queen's gambit, for example. In some positions, bishop is better on d6, and so he goes back. My opponent tried somehow to prevent it, but with wrong way. Yeah. You thought attack on g6 would be working, but underestimated probably the move bishop d6. And here already black has a very good position after rook takes f3. Nevertheless, it was not like something what was done very easily for myself, because it took a little bit of time to understand that black is fine, and first of all, and still it is a sacrifice, that black is sacrificing exchange and the pawn, so that's a lot of material. But fortunately, the position is so good that black can do it. In fact, we both here had this some misunderstanding of this position. I thought that for white it was not good to defend the pawn, and Secondly, I was not sure that black actually need this H pawn. Black wants to generate some attack on the king side, but how to do it correctly. Later, with help of computer, I found out I did not calculate it far. No, I just actually I just saw the possibility queen h4, and that was it. I just bishop e7. Yes, I had this idea to play bishop d6 and sacrifice exchange, but I did not calculate it so far. It was more intuitive. It was a more question of assessment of position. I'm happy that I did it more or less correctly, but it was not so easy for me as well. I took time to come to this. Yeah. Okay, rook f8 takes f3 is a standard exchange sacrifice and French defense. So it is one of the tools what the French player is having. But again, it was not easy for me because usually you don't have, you may have even pawn for this or something more. Yeah, here black was not having material. Yes, rook f8, rook takes f3 is one of the idea. The best idea, as usual, was found by Engine in analysis, and this something I want to show you. You suggest bishop f4 with idea then to play e5. The best thing that it is working. I just show you the variation of the engine. I'm not wasting time for defense and bringing a lot of stuff to attack. Now we can understand that it may work, yeah, and it is working. Now rook takes c1 is threatening. Okay, this is so nice to do such a things if you're assisted by an engine, yeah? But I haven't seen it in a game. Bishop f4, I haven't seen the move. Yeah, okay. Move maybe I saw, but I was not so far to say that this is a great position. Yeah. In fact, it looks like a really great position for black. There is another strong variation, shows the possibilities of the position. Yeah. Now maybe the best move is rook f8, simply bringing everything in attack. It's beautiful stuff what computer can do in attack. Yeah. At the end, black is winning. So queen g2 was wrong, but not for the reason what I was thinking. I haven't seen this plan bishop f4 e5 in the game. Fortunately, my opponent played rook f1. He had the feeling that the pawn is not important on h2. Actually, I also had the same feeling. And for this reason, I played rook f8. Bringing the last piece in attack. And here, I was worried about queen g2 after the game and during the game. But again, the same plan found later by an engine looks very good. And then e5. That looks very strong. We saw something like this before. There was a question of Eric, is there some kind of general rule that this rook f3 is so strong? I'm not sure that I can give it. Yeah, I think it is more according to situation. I think we should be aware of this option, yeah, of this idea. But if it is working in this concrete position, we need really to look at it. Yeah. Because there are some variations where white is still keeping some advantage for after rook takes f3 or whatever. I think I lost to Topalov after this sacrifice. in one of the games. So it's not working always. Anyway, and I cannot formulate some guidelines when rook takes f3 is working. I need to concretely. So my opponent played queen g4. We were both at this moment under the impression that, okay, it's okay for white to give up a pawn on h2. It's actually not exactly the case. I was afraid that maybe white king would escape, and then white would put the rook on h line, and then some counterattack. That was my considerations. In this moment, my opponent, international master, first of all, he demonstrated understanding also of the situation. He played queen g3. There was a kind of key moment in the game, or one of the, but at least potentially key moments in the game. What I want us to do is at the moment just to concentrate on the candidate moves, on the candidate possibilities. What black can do? One obvious possibility, yes, okay, very good. We have very good stuff. We have candidate moves queen h7, which looks very good, and I saw it. And actually, that's how I played it also in the game. The move queen h5 was underestimated by me. Yes. The move queen h1 I was considered as an alternative. Of course, there is also the move queen takes g3, but I rejected it very quickly because it is okay for black, this position, maybe even slightly better, but it was clear that my opponent already was giving away the material just to reach the ending. So he was correctly scared of black's possibilities in attack. So we have basically what I want us to concentrate on these two possibilities. Queen h7. I will show you. I did not see the follow up. But of course I will show also the variation queen h5. And basically I love the move queen h7, but I was thinking, what is better? First give check and then queen h7. Or to play queen h7 immediately. My approach to the problem was based on the wrong assessment. So this wrong assessment of the h pawn, who can profit from this came here to the wrong decision. Or led me to the wrong decision. You may already discover the concrete truth. What is the better, queen h1 or queen h7? So all the time before, I was actually worrying about white king is coming to the center, and then rooks are coming to attack me. That's why I played queen h7, and was making perfect sense to me. But if you looked a little bit more carefully at the situation, okay, I was mainly concerned about the move king e2, understandably. And here queen h7. I saw that, of course, the threat rook e4 check I saw, but what I missed, the threat rook takes d4, yes. I missed this idea. Hitting the queen and queen d3. So totally missing the big point, rook takes d4. And so coming, I must say I did not calculate it probably very carefully. Just stopped saying, I played better, I play queen h7. and not let white king to attack me after rook h1. But of course, white is not coming close to attack. He's just not in time to do it. It's too powerful. And so black was winning with queen h1. Let me just for the second. Okay, there is some line, but it is not very relevant line. That would never question for me. Yeah, and okay, black is winning here. Different ways. For some reasons, the check is most precise. But there are some other stuff to be concerned. Yeah. What about the move queen h5? I must say that the problem was that I thought white can come back, and somehow I'm also pinned. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, that was the story, and that's why I thought queen h5 is not big move. I did not calculate it carefully, I must confess. Yeah. If I would do it, I would see the move rook f6. It's not the end of the story, but it's a beautiful move. Yeah? If queen takes d6, then queen takes f3 is possible. Yeah? That's the big point behind rook f6. So rook f1, queen f7. I don't think I went so far in my calculations. I can believe it. Now the problem, okay, the problem of queen h3 here, that queen g6 is winning, yeah? And already the knight is hanging, yeah? So the main line, of course, queen takes d6. And here black wins with a very nice trick. He plays here e5, very nice. White should already sacrifice the queen, and it's not enough. Yeah? If he goes away, then there is rook g6 check. And queen f3. This is a very nice switch, yeah? And black is winning, for example, like this. So actually queen h5 was also winning move, and very nice. Fortunately for me, Alvor, I actually here in attack, I failed to find the best continuations, but fortunately for me, the position after queen h7 was still very, very unpleasant for white. Very unpleasant to play because too many threats. For example, if bishop d2, rook f6, queen d6. Yeah, there was a question if I would see in both moves, which would you choose, queen h1 and queen h5? I think I would choose queen h1 for the reasons that it is easier to calculate. Basically, if I would see it with this follow-up rook d4, that's the more simple. To calculate queen h5 is much more challenging stuff. And of course, this was analysis I done with computer, and haven't seen anything like this in the game. So there was much later analysis. Here black is winning, obviously. So knight f3 was played in the game. I think I found a very good move here, but it's more or less obvious. Bishop b8 to be able to move the rook and threatening actually to move the rook. My opponent played knight g4. I found here the move rook f5. Again, it's not that difficult. Maybe knight e5 was more stubborn. My opponent played queen g2. Rook g5 now. Rook a d1, bishop f4. So I discovered the square for the bishop at last. Yeah. Position is fortunately very good for black. Yeah, it's so good that black objectively should be winning here. My opponent played king g1. I was not assessing this position as winning, but I thought that I should be very good here. What helped me in this moment is prophylactical thinking. I thought, why my opponent played king g1, so maybe he wants to play bishop d2. And then we were both already close on time trouble, maybe 5 minutes, something like this. So in this situation, I played a good move, queen c2, preventing bishop d2, and now much more difficult was for white to find any reasonable move. As said, in time trouble, my opponent played queen f1. I did not answer the question yet, but here was more exercise for attack, and it was actually interesting that even in attack, prophylactical thinking can be a useful weapon. Happens. Here I found the right move. Right move was actually a dream move of black. I was dreaming about playing e5 already for a long time. And interestingly, this variation, bishop f4 and d5, this is the idea how computer attacks in the position. So I came in much easier version, but maybe I would have small chance to find the same plan in the game if my opponent would choose this queen g2 continuation at the beginning. But here a5 bringing bishop and finishing the fight. I have only to see that after queen d3, rook d3, I have a nice move e4, and here the fight was over. 2 more moves, and white loses the knight and loses the game. So easy victory at the end. I was also a little bit surprised how strong was my exchange sacrifice, because I didn't expect it to be so powerful. And we had very interesting, this moment, very interesting actually, what to choose, and to try, if you're trying to compare between similar variations, this comparison, it's actually a very good method, but this method of comparison should be used very cleverly. We should find some concrete differences between the lines. And here, the concrete advantage was this idea queen d3 checkmate. That's why queen h1 was much better move than queen h7. Fortunately, queen h7 was still good to keep initiative and advantage. I want to show you one example, one position what I prepared, also to answer the question, okay, what can we do to improve our ability to make better decisions in a game. Let me put this position with white to play. There are a lot of possibilities to improve your calculations. I will be talking about it in a week on this seminar. But one very useful exercise was playing some studies. You can find a lot of endgame studies also in the books of my coach Mark Dvoretsky, my chess teacher. And this is one of the positions we were also playing, obviously. So let me try to do with you this kind of exercise. This is actually a study of Nikolai Grigoriev, but I do it a little bit differently. What I want you to write me, what do you think is the 4 next moves? Yes, write 4 moves to me. Yeah, I will explain you the reason why. Just try to calculate 4 moves variation. So don't give me this first move. Alvor, we will be discussing it. Yeah, just we will be discussing it. I have very specific request. 4 moves. It means 4 full moves. Yeah, not only just white black. Yeah, so all together we have to make it. Yeah, it's a little bit longer. This is possible line, but I need more attempts. Yeah, this possible. Just a second, guys. Now we're having too many. I am getting some strange variations. So please, just 1 second. Some very strange variations. So far, not what I wanted to get. Sorry, guys. You cannot seriously discuss the move h3, king h5, because the king h5 is so bad. Yeah, just useless move. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, I have Emil who gave me what I wanted. Yeah. Guys, okay, king h5 is ridiculous because this is a elementary pawn endings. Yeah, you cannot win it. You cannot take one of these pawns, and you will be losing here a pawns. Yeah, so of course black is playing c5. Yeah, and then white goes king b1, attacking the pawn, c4, king a2. I had here correctly some people who were thinking about the move king g3. Yeah, but this is still too early. Yeah. King g3, white can win with f5. Yeah. We will come c3. Yeah, is the main move. And basically, if you look at this from white's perspective, first move was forced. Yeah, otherwise king g4, and we can't play for win. Yeah. So first move we actually have to play. Yeah, there is some ready idea here. I see already good considerations in chat. But let me concentrate. First move h3 is like the only way for white to continue the fight. Yeah, and this move we can play quickly because there is no option. Otherwise, black would play king g4 and making an easy draw. Yeah, so h3. And then we don't know what black is going to play, but obviously he is playing c5. And now we have to attack the pawn on a3. Yeah, logically, king b1, c4, king a2. And black plays c3. And here we came to this position. And I got an answer, the fourth move, king takes a3. As I said, it's not a bad thing to play here move after move. What is important in this moment, is to stop playing quickly. Before this, we had only moves, and this moves h3, king b1, king a2 actually should be played relatively quickly. Exactly here. There is here questions. Yeah, here we should stop and start thinking because white has more than one move. Not only king takes a3, but also king b3. So we have 2 moves. We have a choice. We have stop playing quickly. We have to stop to play quickly, and we have to concentrate. This is one of the situations where people who are playing this study are making mistakes. Some people are taking too quickly. And after king g3, exactly what already some of us were mentioning, that this is a ready idea. Ready idea. And it is actually draw. We need maybe a little bit to be sure that we cannot win the queen or exchange queens. Yeah? But yeah, after we saw it, yeah, after we calculated it, we can say, okay, now let's prove king b3. And king b3, of course, is much better move. Yeah? But the trick is here, the first difficulty here, yeah? First difficulty here is to stop and to start thinking, yeah? Not to make a decision too quickly. We have a choice, yeah? We have candidate moves, yeah? So we were talking about the danger of to miss something on the first moves. Here we have a choice, and here we have to calculate it carefully. King b3 is correct move. It leads almost to the same position, with one important difference, that white king stays on a2 and not to a3, which could be very useful. You can understand that if black is promoting the queen to c1, it goes without check. So, for example, in this line, white is winning now. Yes. Queen h6 is skewer at the end. Yeah. Very good. Usually when I am training and I am working with my students and I see they played king b3, we come to this position and I'm making the move king f3. So what is going on here? This actually king f3 is probably something what you were not expecting, yes? Am I correct? Or somebody was worried about king f3 before? Yeah, it was something what you're not expecting. This is another indication not to play quickly, yeah, and just to stop. What is this? Why opponent is making this strange move? What is the idea? So in such a moment, stop and start thinking. And there is, of course, pure psychological trick. Yeah, if white pushes the pawn, then king e2 is coming, and then black is using the same idea. If king b3, then king e4 is coming, and the same position as we had before with assessment draw. But of course, king e3 is absolutely a ridiculous move in the sense if white plays king b1, he stops the c pawn and our f pawn wins. Yeah, so king b1 is clearly winning. A little bit ridiculous, but it is something new. Yeah, people who were expecting king f4 may not change their attitude and not to react at the changed situation, and may end up by playing f6 and missing the idea that king goes not to e3, where king is not good position, but to e2. Yeah. Okay. Not all chess players. There are some, I think maybe India, I'm sorry, I look who was giving this. Yeah. I don't see the full name, but it was written that chess players always want to move forward. Not all chess players. Knew many chess friends which are defending on the 7th and 8th rank and not going to move forward at all. Yeah. So this type of exercises are useful to control your to see the problems in the behavior. Yeah. Some comment, except Petrosyan maybe. Petrosyan was actually moving forward, but very cautiously, yes. So, very cautiously. So there is some... Now, once I played the game against some player from Austria. I was already Grandmaster. I thought I will crush my opponent easily. I sacrificed the knight on f5. Thought, okay, now he should resign, but he didn't. Yeah, he found a lot of good regrouping of the 7th and 8th rank. He played brilliantly on the 7th and 8th rank. So I thought, oh God, I'm going to lose this game after all. Yeah, I didn't have enough compensation for the knight. Fortunately, my opponent never moved forwards. Yeah, never moved. I thought if he would learn how to play on a 6th rank, he already would be on a level of Ulf Andersen, perhaps. Yeah, so fortunately, he only was brilliant on the 7th and 8th ranks. Yeah, so good. Let me show you one interesting example, and then we reserve maybe some minutes also for questions. Yeah, we came actually from one very interesting game. Mikhail Tal played V5 against Igor Platonov, who was at his best at this moment. Actually, Platonov played a lot of interesting tournaments and winning actually the title of national grandmaster, which was difficult at this time. But here Black made a mistake. Thank you. I know that you you knew a lot of chess classics. Actually, Black is winning here, but he should make a kind of ugly move here, pawn takes f5, which is working on a concrete level, and yeah, it's bishops and material advantage on the black side. Instead of Platonov took on c3. I am not sure that he missed the move of Tal. I am not sure. But definitely he made some miscalculations. Tal played, okay, who can give us quickly the move for white? What we need to consider? Yes, of course, rook g3. Rook g3, Tal played rook g3. There are other moves. Somebody already said bishop g6, but it can't work yet. Yeah, it can't work. Even we can take with this pawn. Yeah? No way it is working. So rook g3 first. And now the actually difficult question, how to play for black. Requires careful calculations. Yeah. Okay, we can skip rook takes g3, queen takes b4, because it is, first of all, probably losing, not enough, and no. So it's not the right defense. So then we have only two moves. Yeah? We need to understand that we have two moves. I think maybe Platonov, I think he miscalculated it. I think he definitely saw the next move of Tal, but was thinking that he has enough. Yeah? So what are the two moves for black? Very hard move to play bishop g7. I agree with you. Especially because it gives also the opponent an opportunity for perpetual. Yeah? And maybe some choice also to play for a win. Yeah? As well. Yeah? Which is kind of difficult. Yeah? Black has to move rook f3 actually. So to play bishop g7, you need also to see here perhaps the option rook f3. Otherwise, you are not able to play. Maybe not so much time. Maybe he said, okay, f6 is winning for white, and that's why he played king h8. One possibility. One possibility that he missed rook g3. Yeah. Another possibility that he missed his own resource, rook f3, which actually leads to a kind of draw. Okay, or let's say kind of balance. Would be probably better expression. Yeah. No, Tal was not missing a tactic. No, Tal was not missing a tactic at all. The problem, okay, that Platonov played very good game, but I'm sure that Tal was seeing a lot of here. Yeah, maybe he was speculating. Maybe okay, it was in a position. Tal was in his style. He was trying to complicate the position as much as possible and to put the opponent under the pressure. That was his playing style. And actually he was successful here because black played king h8, maybe already in time trouble. As we said, here bishop g7 was the right defense. White can take and give perpetual, or white can play f6, but then the problem for black, if he sees f6, he has to find some reasonable defense. Its only defense is this move. Otherwise, yeah, we are correct. Every move here is extremely important. What Platonov missed, I'm sure that he saw the next move of Tal. Yeah, you see it as well. Yeah, please write it to me. What the move in the style of Tal. Of course, it's queen h6, and only here it's down to Platonov what he is missing. Yeah. Perhaps he thought rook takes g3, and he only thought about queen f8. Yeah, and this is a situation where black is winning. But what he forgot, yes, you have it in many tactical books. He forgot about move bishop g6. After queen h6, he saw it and he resigned. Queen bishop g6 is coming. Good. I think. Do we have any questions on this game, on this particular game, or did I show it satisfactory? Bishop g6 leads to checkmate, of course. Good. If we are happy with this example, so depending on what candidate move I start calculating, I might get lucky. In a sense, yes. Yeah, especially if you are defending and if you are using the method of eliminations, and if you are under time pressure and you took the wrong candidate move and you maybe eliminated the right move, and then you play quickly the move what is left, and it could be big mistake. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let me stop it for the second, and I stop the transmission. We can take the questions now. Yeah. So don't hesitate. If you have some questions, I am with you. I am happy to answer. If no questions, then it was a pleasure. Okay, is FIDE seminar exclusively for registered trainers? Yes, basically yes. Yeah, I'm sorry about it. Yeah. Thank you very much. Pick candidates for every move. You saw also my examples. Unfortunately, not. Yeah, sometimes I'm also was also missing a lot in my chess career. Is the difference between really good players that they know when to calculate and when it's not necessary? It is a huge advantage. Yes, it is a huge advantage. It's like you set a tempo of the game. Yeah, sometimes you don't need a lot of calculation. Sometimes you have to do it. I think you are hitting at one very, very important feature of the strong players. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I wish you nice sessions. Have excellent coaches and a lot of fun and very good team. And if I see some of you in next week, I am very happy about it.
Thank you, Artur, for the wonderful lecture. It was really very interesting for me, at least. I hope that everyone enjoyed, and yeah, I see from the comments that everyone enjoyed. I hope that you can attend some of our next camps, and that you have a successful seminar, FIDE seminar next week.
Thank you very much.
We will give a link on tomorrow. We have a Q&A session, and we will provide with the link for registration.
Thank you. All the best.
Thanks a lot, guys. In 25 minutes, you'll have another lecture, so you can take some rest. You can stay in the Zoom, or you can quit and then join again. It's a long day. So
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.